So I'm coming to you today from my bed. And I know it may seem weird, but that's how I'm really feeling lately. It's been, I work, but I've had some really kind of hard emotional moments lately. And I felt like if I talked about them, maybe it would help me. Maybe it helps somebody else. I don't know. But right now I need to get this out, to talk through it. And I can definitely say my heart is somewhat a little broken, a little hurt, let's say now. So I'll start off by saying a couple months ago, maybe back in April, I posted about first loves, pretty generically, because my first love reached out to me to have lunch. And we had a beautiful lunch, had a really beautiful lunch. And my first love is going through a challenge in their life. They lost their spouse. And so I was pretty cautious about that because they were just a year into healing. And and I probably still have to say a but, I opened myself to seeing them because shared with me that they looked forward to spending time with me, getting to know me, and really rekindling things. He wrote a very heartfelt letter to me. Because we used to write to each other when we were young kids. And so, I hate regrets. I really hate regrets in life because I feel like every situation is a learning experience. And so over the course of about 6 weeks, we talked. We shared how he felt about losing his spouse. The thing about me is that I grew up knowing about mourning and someone losing their spouse because my mother died when I was young, when I was a baby, when I was 11 months old. And my sister was 6. And so I watched my father kind of go through what I would say mourning is, how you mourn. My father never remarried. So I grew up kind of knowing what it was like not to have a mom and for my mother's siblings to miss her their entire life. They still miss my mom today. They still talk about her like she's still here, and you can tell they still miss her. So I never felt uncomfortable with him talking about his spouse. He even shared and asked me, how did I feel? And I was like, yeah, like what human would feel weird about it? I felt like we were getting to know each other in a different way this time as adults. We went to wineries, we went to dinner. I felt like doing a little bit dating, although we were very cautious about pace of things. And I must say, after a beautiful date, the next couple of days, he said that he felt like we were moving too fast and that he wasn't ready for a relationship, which I wasn't pushing for. And the reason I'm sharing a little bit of this is because I have to take ownership of the fact that I opened my heart to someone that I opened my heart to almost 40 years ago. And because he was my first love, I felt very comfortable talking to him about hurts in my life, about happy things that have happened to me over the years, my family, my divorce. I thought we were building a friendship. And he subsequently basically said he wanted to only be friends and didn't want to communicate with me. I don't, understand it still, but I feel like he is not only does it feel like rejection, but I really know that he's choosing himself because he's not ready for a relationship. But I wasn't asking for that. However, I do realize I probably was giving off girlfriend vibes. We spent a lot of time together. We text pretty much every day. We shared music. When he was having a challenging moments, he would talk to me about those. I just felt like we were friends getting to know each other. And so, he wrote a letter to me saying he wanted to rekindle and that he asked me for grace. And he said, I may not take large steps, but I will take small ones because I don't want to risk what I think could be really beautiful between us. And then he turned around and said he didn't want to see me. We have not been in contact with each other for almost, I'm going to say it was a month on the 11th. And it has made me feel as if I can't really even trust again. I just don't know what to feel about it. I just don't know what to feel. For him to write a letter, almost how we wrote each other when we were young, I don't really know what to say. It feels very harsh and cold. And I've just tried to examine, where did I go wrong? And is it my fault I opened myself up to someone that I thought I could really get to know again and trust? And is that my fault that I did that? I made sure not to text him when he texted me. I made sure I didn't call him all the time. I did, when he asked me for a date, it was always in advance. I did have some other gentlemen that I would go out with a little bit, but I was, to be honest, reserving my time for him. But I don't think he could tell because I do stay pretty busy with community work and I exercise. So, and to be honest with you, in the last month, I haven't exercised. I've just been feeling like, what happened? How do you go from talking to someone every day? He told me that he didn't realize what pace was and that it's still new for him. I'm just don't know what to do. But I'm praying. And so I don't know what yet to name this video. But it feels like it's hurt from a first love after 40 years. I don't know what else to call it. I know this will move. It'll get better. But to have met someone when you were 15, 16 years old, and to have dated till you were almost till you were 19, and then you break up because you go to different colleges and each of you get married and go on your merry way. And I was very sad to hear that his wife passed. He reached out to me. I didn't reach out to him. It's just the strangest thing. I'm asking God to give me a sign about my life and about my thinking. And about, I should have just put up boundaries and said, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't know. I think I was just like, oh, my first love, he is such a sweet guy. And I'm so sorry for him for what happened. And we're just going to get to know each other. I had no idea it would stir up feelings. So I'm trying not to have regret. I'm trying to find the lesson. And that's it. I want to find the lesson. If any of you out in social media and YouTube have experienced anything like this, just leave a comment.